Okay, think of this for a second. How many times have you heard of a meth lab exploding? Seems like it's happened a lot lately.
It certainly has, and if anyone is hurt, it's usually the person cooking the meth, but sometimes there are innocent victims.
Fox 10 News reporter Charles Lombard tells you the story of one tiny survivor.
Few things are more peaceful than a baby sleeping in a playpen. Just like this baby, 1-year-old Jonna Osborne didn't have a care in the world until deputies say a meth lab exploded and turned her world upside down.
The shake and bakes are usually done in a plastic bottle. They're not made to contain the amount of pressure that's created when the meth is cooking. Occasionally they will erupt and they will explode. The flames and the liquid come out like a flamethrower.
Deputies believe a fire like that from her father's meth lab burned little Jonna Osborne on the morning of August 23rd, leaving her helpless and in unbelievable pain.
Initially, it looked like a large portion of it was second degree, which unfortunately it converted and ended up being third degree, and we had to skin graft it.
John Osborne says it was not fire from a meth explosion that burned his daughter.
I was going to cook me some French fries. I put some oil on the stove. I went to the bathroom, used the restroom, come back to the kitchen, washed my hands, done it like that in the sink, and I looked over at the grease. It didn't look hot. Done my hand like that and I walked in the grease. It started jumping. It jumped out.
Osborne says the pan went up in flames, so he grabbed it and tried to run outside with it. But says before he could get there, he tripped over his 1-month-old and landed in Jonna's playpen, burning her with the hot grease.
I flip her out. Her mama gets her and I tell her to call 911.
This is Jonna's playpen. When I showed Osborne this picture, he stared as if he didn't believe what he saw.
It wasn't like that when I flipped her out of it. No. My baby didn't stand there that long.
Then I showed Osborne this picture of his daughter, with burns on nearly half of her tiny body.
She got it bad, didn't she? Baby was asleep. I did. Still do. It's my baby.
Osborne wasn't at the trailer when deputies and firefighters arrived.
I had a warrant on me in Georgia, probation. And when the ambulance got there, I stepped around the corner. I did not leave my youngin' until the ambulance got there.
Also already in place.
Bay County, Florida Sheriff Frank McKeithen says Osborne's girlfriend and the infant's mother, Tessa Wagey, told deputies and doctors the same story Osborne told me, that the baby was burned by a grease fire. At that time, deputies didn't have a reason to believe otherwise. But an investigation showed evidence of a meth lab in the trailer.
We found some lithium batteries which were actually peeled, and this is what they do to get the lithium out. In the bathroom, we found where they had separated a cold pack, and one of the packs was laying on the bathroom sink. Empty boxes of ephedrine. I mean, everything you needed to make meth with.
Deputies also found the pan Osborne said he was cooking in, but there weren't any burned French fries. When Jonna did not respond to treatment for grease burns, her mother finally confessed that Osborne was not cooking French fries.
State of Florida versus John Osborne. Would you come forward, please?
She actually told the guys that her husband was making meth. She had bought the Sudafed or the ephedrine to make it with.
Because of that, Jonna is still recovering from critical injuries.
A burn wound doesn't actually heal for at least a year. In children, it can be longer. So her body and the scarring will go through some changes.
physical scarring isn't the only issue Jonna will have to deal with as she gets older.
They do go through a lot of emotional things that we keep an eye on, and at different stages in life we address those to get her over them the best way that she can be gotten over.
Even though she might not have a burn mark here, she can always remember this, and she's going to always be affected. You can be a meth head and you can be a parent, but you can't be both.
I was there. The people that's here that's judging me wasn't there. I'm the one that's toting it. I need my family back. I'll fight like hell.
Osborne will have to prove that to Judge Dede Costello. He and Wege were in court October 8th. They both pleaded not guilty to charges of aggravated child abuse, manufacturing methamphetamine resulting in injury to a child, and possession of illicit chemical. They will go back to court on November 18th. Meanwhile, baby Jonna has been released from the hospital and is with a foster family in an undisclosed area. Jonna will have to make regular visits to see Dr. Fred Mullins. He says Jonna has done very well with treatment, but will never make a 100% recovery.